Good morning and Jai Hind, everyone. Who is ready? Please let me know who is ready for the first speaker. Vivek, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Dhiraj, keep time.
Yes, sir.
Can I start?
Yes, start.
Yes. Good morning, sir, and present everyone. Everyone present here. We all are aware of education and it's important in our daily life. In the every sector, there is a need of education. Not the education, but the basic education of that particular field. So today I'm going to talk about the modernization of education or the importance of education system. Over the countries, our nation places a high value on education. The existing education system in India is seen as a theoretical basis or to obtain the marks in a particular exam. After the independence, this system of education served well to make youth employable, especially in the urban area. On the other hand, we see in the rural India lag behind for the lack of quality education along with the poverty. So the Indian student living overseas have a long served as ambassadors in the Western countries to show the Indian intellect, capacity to the hard work, and the capacity to shine in the many of the sectors. The current system of education in India uh, or the other countries is oriented towards the making the society consumeristic. After the COVID-19, the education system is changed into the modern as we are seeing the digital platform for teaching and learning. But under the name of digitalization and modernization of education, the quality content of the education is missing, and somehow, and that can affect directly to the potential of the students. That is very harmful for the future of the students. In the ancient time education system, there is a term like Mimamsa and Tarka, which is logic and reasoning respectively, where the student has to develop answer in a systematic manner rather than the provided answer or the memorized statements or the answer. This system of learning has to be reintroduced into the modern Indian schools, where every student is capable of learning through the logical reasoning. Now, the conclusion of the topic is the our primary education system has to change if you want our children's and the upcoming generations to change their lifestyles and to develop a sense of responsibility towards the nature and the environment and and to peacefully coexisting with our countrymen. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Education and the importance of it can be elaborated. There is no denial that without education we cannot have a beautiful world. But the problem is correct utilization of that education, wisdom for bringing peace, happiness, prosperity. That education has to be applied well, because by merely achieving academic qualification we don't justify that we are scholars. Scholars is a very all round term where everything is to be learned, and that is why we see differences. We see people are educated yet they sound little backward. So we may say that literacy and a proper education, these are two different terms. People may get literate who can read, write, speak, or display their knowledge. But when we use education as a proper term for human beings, it has to have a lot of meanings, a lot of dimensions. So maybe we need to learn to get properly educated. Okay, good. Vivek, who is ready? Dubey Saab, Subodh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Vivek, keep time. Dubey Saab, go ahead.
Sir, you can
Okay.
start now.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. As we all know, that Indian Army always serve for the country. They are doing well and doing extremely well for the nation. As we have seen in earlier past, they gave us a knockout punch on the face of enemy every time in 1948, thereafter in 1962, 65, and thereafter in 1971 and 1999. And recently, we have seen a skirmish between China. They have given all their best to save the nation and guard the nation. So, friends, in next 2 to 3 minutes, I would like to tell you about modern day army. Friends, for easy understanding of topic, I'll cover it in 4 parts. What is comparison between earlier army and present army, and thereafter what is the benefit of present day army, and thereafter some challenges and way forward. Friends, what is the comparison? Friends, earlier we have seen that due to lack of mobilization, we were not be able to mobilize as easily as nowadays. As in 1962, we have seen that due to mobilization, our troops were not be able to reach to the posts wherever they were required, and due to which we have faced uh, defeat in that war. But thereafter, we have did well as we came to know that yes, for strengthening our economy, for strengthening our country, we have to strengthen our army and we have to strengthen the mobilization system also. Thereafter, as per firepower, earlier we have some gun system which is nowadays has been changed with some rocket system and thereafter some medium guns also, and it is also bringing a lot of you can say strength to the army, because whenever you are going anywhere, it is said that the artillery is the god of the war, and whenever you are having a strong artillery, definitely you can win. And another thing is that as far as infantry is concerned, we are definitely presently we are having a very good weapon system, like nowadays we are getting AK-207 and other rifles also. We are also having tabor in number of regiments other than para regiments, and that is also benefiting our soldiers because they are laser guided weapons, and by having some and trajectory guided missiles, we can also attack on enemy at any point of time and any place. So it is also definitely enhancing our capability. And other thing is that nowadays the willpower is also has been changed, as our government is taking
Last
decision
30
for that.
seconds.
And another thing is that whenever we are discussing about challenges, there are few challenges are also going on. Like earlier, there was a good training was going on, but present day we are too much involved in the administration work, and we are not taking much interest in the training because of technology. So definitely it is good to have a good technology, but we have to be familiar with that all technologies, so that definitely we can have a good we can have a good utilization of that technology. And
Sir,
for having that, definitely training is must. And another thing that is that if we want to develop want to be a superpower, then definitely our army should be greater. Like we have seen recently, we have launched a one of dress that is very good, because it can change by one dress. You can survive anywhere. It can change its color also. So it is digitally prepared. So at the end, I want to conclude that by having a good army or a strong army, we can serve the nation, and we have to do some more work for modernizing army. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dubey Saab, modern day army, good. A lot of points or a lot of angles can be spoken. You chose one, so it is good. Only thing, one correction, if you can just mellow down that training part, because yes, it can be spoken in some simple words like man behind machine. No amount of modernization can bring the strength to the army unless and until the man is motivated and the morale is high. So, from that angle, there is no denial that training is never compromising kind of thing. So, that is why we have a slogans: the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. And this cannot be compromised. The sweating has to be there because our physical and mental fitness is the most essential thing. Secondly, a lot of if you use that modern word, that is there, aviation is there, missile system has been incorporated into the, if we specifically stick to the Indian army, then UAVs are there, the systems, every equipment, every arm is now modern, whether it is communication, whether it is engineers, whether it is artillery, whether it is tanks, whether it is aviation wing, which is there separately for Indian Army, then UAVs, infantry soldier is getting equipped, dress, yes, that is also a part of modernization. And from the government point of view, despite all this modernization where the world is now moving very fast and there are few facilities which are taken out, pension, but armed forces are still given that facility. So that is one of the biggest welfare government can do, and it is sticking to it. That is a very important issue for motivation and morale of the soldier when they fight or defend the nation. Okay, good. Subodh, ready?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Dubey Saab.
Yes, sir. Subodh, you may start.
Okay, sir. So good morning, gentlemen. My lecture topic is net education. So what is education? Education is a backbone. Without education, we cannot develop and we cannot think of it. With the education, we can revolutionize each and everything. Just Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar did. He used education as a weapon and he revolutionized the backward caste. And because of that, backward community get a lot of respect in the today's society, and they are now fetching education with a very high regards. So the net education. After the advent of internet as well as the mobile phones, with the collaboration of both of this, net education flourished. In the COVID scenario, it is very prominent. If I give example of the ancient times, in ancient times there is not much facilities of net, and we have to present physically to the classroom so that we can attend the education. The Vikramshila, Nalanda universities are the best education centers of India and the most prominent at that time. But the today's situation is completely changed. Now we are moving towards a technological revolution, and because of that, net education has come. With the help of the net education, we are now developing the rural areas which are not get connected previously. They are now get connected, and the children which who studies in the rural areas, they are now able to fetch education, to get education from the top institutes as well as from the educated teachers, and it is one of the best thing that we are achieving. Not only that, the students enrollment ratio in the rural areas as well as in the urban areas is now increasing. If I give the example of COVID, in the COVID scenario, we are locked into our homes, and at that time this internet plays a very important role in the education sector. But there are some of the means demerits of it. Students are now lacking in studies. They are not gaining much interest. They are not gaining much interest in studies now, and they are simply neglecting those studies. And as well as they are also compromising on their honesty, because what happens when the online education and online exam is happening, so students simply they can't prepare for a particular test. They are simply doing cheating in that particular test, what they want to do. So it is a doubt on their honesty, and it will also cost in near future for their better life. But still, we are growing just because of the help of the net education. If I give example, in the COVID scenario, many enrollment ratio, mostly the enrollment ratio of women's has increased, and not only that, professional education has also go online. In India, there are lots of universities which are providing online education, so that the students who are sitting miles away,
Last
they
30
can't be
seconds.
deprived of the education. And some of the international scholarships are also net education based. If a person can't afford to it, then he can also go online. So lastly, I want to conclude that, and according to my education is very important for the development, and with the help of the internet, we can develop education more and more as it's reaching towards more and more people, and it would be very beneficial for us if we do net education, as it will also develop and uh, it will also develop those children who are still deprived
Time
of
up.
education. Thank you.
Okay, a lot of new topics coming up. Net education. We saw first topic today. Vivek had spoken about importance of education, and net education is something like modern day education, where at a distance we can really learn. You do not physically come together. There is a platform, that is internet, and you can really gain, and a lot of easiness is there. The comfort, the amount of knowledge, and the easiness is unprecedented. Today's student is overloaded with a lot of knowledge because he or she has got a lot of access for easy knowledge. And if you compare with earlier times, this is a biggest opportunity for research and development and exploration in the field of knowledge. But at the same time, there are some other issues. When there is abundant information and knowledge, easy access, the state of mind is very important. You get confused. At times, it is unwarranted. And then, wisdom to utilize this tremendous knowledge. For example, if we take a very household thing scenario, when we had only one channel, it was easy to see TV. More happiness index was there. Today, hundreds of channel besides internet, OTT, and all those things. It is now happiness index going down. The satisfaction level is low. We are confused. We are isolated. We are becoming slaves to machines. That is bigger challenge. When on one hand we have got tremendous opportunity to gain knowledge and education, on the other hand there is a chance of losing ourselves in the ocean of this new arena. Okay, good. Who is ready?
So,
Gurjant Saab. Okay, Subodh, keep time.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can start.
thank you, sir. Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. It is an era of innovation and technology advancement. The surge of startups providing good business models. So, friends, we are going to discuss about startup in India. We will cover it in four parts. In first, we will discuss about startup concept and further about the importance of startups, and we will discuss about associated challenges, way forward, and conclusion. So, coming to first part, startup concept. It is an initiative of government to build strong ecosystem for innovation and entrepreneurship in our country. It is a very important concept to enhance production, innovation, technologies, advancement in our country, which is leading towards strengthening our economy, giving employment to the citizen. So, at the same time, some challenges in this field. First is slowdown of world economy due to COVID-19. It is the major hurdle in advancement and startup concept, and less technology advancement in our country as compared to the other countries which have developed, and the globalization and the free trade agreement is happening and acting between the countries is affecting our startup and manufacturing hubs. And the another part is Chinese goods, and the Chinese goods are affecting in our market and also affecting on our startup and manufacturing agencies. So we are also lacking in the skilled manpower and to providing the manufacturing agencies. So we should work on this by providing some solutions. So firstly, we have to invest more in manufacturing or advancement, and also we will welcome to the foreign direct investment by providing relaxation in taxes and by providing good facility within the country. And another thing, we should also work on research and development within the country by providing incentive, by providing technology spare, innovation ideas, and also we should start campaign within the country to appreciate by appreciating the innovative ideas. And the another part is education sector. We should
Last
also
30
work
seconds.
on education sector to provide skillful manpower to the manufacturing agencies. So, lastly, I conclude startup concept is a good to enhancement of technologies and manufacturing. We should work on this by providing incentives, by technology transfer to the from the other country which are developed, and also we should work on research and development and skillful education. By this, we will implement
Time
it
up.
in good manner. Thank you.
Okay, good Gurjant Saab. If we compare 50 years back, if someone had to start business or some service sector opening, that is startup. It was not easy. Today, everything is online. Procedures have become easy. Taking loan from banks has become easy. the clearances and the compliances for the government machineries has become comparatively easy and transparent world. You can easily access lot of documents, policies, SOPs online. So this is a scenario where we can really see a lot of entrepreneurs coming up, and it is happening. Of course, there are some challenges. Ease of doing business is slowly improving, but not yet up to the desired level. But as a nation, if we want to really grow faster, challenge the Chinese dominance, or have the self reliant scenario, we need more startups, more skill India based philosophy. Like education is not merely theoretical, we need more skill based approach. Our youth need to learn that we need practical knowledge, and same can be immediately utilized in industrial sector, and lot of services sectors are opening up, lot of innovative ideas are coming up, and the requirement of human beings, if you identify that one need, you start a business. That is what is happening in the world. Okay, good. Who is next?
Sir,
Oh, Dhiraj. Okay, Gurjant Saab, keep time.
Sir, Dhiraj, you may start.
thank you, sir. Gentlemen, today's my topic is India and its neighbor. In this topic, we will discuss the relation of India among its neighboring countries. Before moving ahead, we will see the short information regarding India. India has a land frontier of a 15,200 kilometer, and the total length of coastal line is 7,500 kilometer. And India share a border with nine countries. These countries are Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, China, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. Now we will discuss the short information of each country. Firstly, India-Pakistan relation. Pakistan is the most hostile neighbor of India in the last 7 decades. Both countries fought for war. There have been a various issue between the both countries, especially the border issue, Siachen Glacier and Sir Creek. Now talking about India Afghanistan relation. Both the countries maintain a friendly tie from many years and signed a treaty of a friendship in 1950. And India was the only South Asian country to recognize the Democratic Republic of Afghanistan. Now talking about India-China relation. China was always remain hostile to India. Both the countries signed a Panchashil agreement in 1954, but later in 1962 the major war took place. Thereafter there have been various cases of military confrontation. The recent being the Doklam and the Siachen Galwan Valley. Now talking about India-Nepal relation. The relation between the both countries is known as a roti beti ka rishta. People are working on the both side as it is open border. Indian Army provide assistance to Nepal Army, and Gorkha troop of Indian Army hails from Nepal. Talking about India-Bangladesh relation, India liberated Bangladesh. India shares longest border with Bangladesh. There have a social, cultural, and economic ties. Both the countries are a part of a international organization. Now, talking about the India-Bhutan relation, Bhutan is referred to as the all-weather friend of India. India is a uh, uh, India is a Bhutan's largest trading partner, and Indian military team is training the Royal Bhutan armies. Now talking about India Myanmar relation, both the countries
Last
share
30 seconds.
1600 kilometer border. It is the only country India share as well as maritime and land border. Now, talking about India-Sri Lanka relation, both the countries share friendly relations from the last many years. As Buddhism spread from India to Sri Lanka, India plays a major role in Sri Lanka's geopolitics. Now, talking about Maldives relation, both the countries share a maritime border and sign a maritime treaty in 1976. At the
Time out.
conclusion, India need to maintain a very good relations with its neighbor in order to achieve its dream of becoming regional power. Thank you.
Okay, Dhiraj, well structured talk, and it has come up well. You covered systematically from one side. and in 3 minutes minimum what is required you're covered. You cannot change your neighbors. That is something which is uh, binding on us, and we have to live with our neighbors, whether it is at individual level or at the national level. You have strained relations with two countries, especially Pakistan and China. The other small countries also plays very important role, and we are improving relations slowly, though there are some ups and downs with every country, including Nepal, which otherwise was unthinkable that we will have strained relations with Nepal. But obviously, the big boss China is playing some funny games. Sri Lanka, yes, there are some ups and downs, things are improving. Bangladesh, we settled the border dispute, and the international scenario is ever evolving, it is always dynamic. India is playing good foreign policy, it has to be flexible, and it is improving. Okay, who is next?
Sami,
Okay, Shweta. Dhiraj, keep time.
Yes, sir. You can start.
good morning everyone. This is Shweta Singh and today I am going to speak on the topic corruption. By hearing the word corruption, the first thought come in our mind is corruption is the misuse of public property, position, power and authority for fulfilling the selfish purpose to gain personal satisfaction. Corruption is the misuse of authority for personal gain of an individual or group. In the meaning of corruption only, the answer is no. Let me explain it. We are student. What our primary duty is to study well, give respect to our elders, helping others, not to abuse anyone, not doing fight with anyone, or and many more. But during exam, many of us doing cheating. What is it? It is a corruption. By doing this activity, we corrupt our action. As a student, we think about to do smoking, drinking, by doing this, we corrupt our thoughts. As a human being, thinking about only using natural resources by harming the nature, in this case, they corrupt their thought, action, and behavior. The murderer, the robber, the rapist, they all corrupt their action, thought, and mind too. The meaning of corruption is not only taking or giving bribery to anyone. The real meaning of corruption is the action we do which is actually totally against to our honest action is called corruption. Now the question is how we stop this type of corruption. Doing meditation daily, live in discipline, then we can control mind, thought, and action corruption. If we want to stop bribery action, there are many ways like strict punishment for offenders, uses of technology and artificial intelligence, fast track court for resolve corruption cases, strong public forums and laws, and etc. Now I want to conclude my topic that if a country is to be corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly believe there are three key societal members who can make a difference. There are the father, the mother, and the teacher. Thank you so much.
Okay, very important subject as far as the human beings are concerned, whether we are honest or not. The corruption issue, right from smallest level till highest level, this is a subject which really needs always attention, because there is no progress if there is a corruption at individual level or society level or a national level, including international scenario. And corruption has many dimensions, one of that Shweta has highlighted, including during the education when you are cheating, that is also a corruption. But then there is one terminology, moral turpitude, the dishonest behavior, not up to the mark. This is the degradation which we must guard against. After all, our civilization, which teaches us, the great teaching from our histories are sacrifice, living for others, not for self. Even the when we talk about armed forces works on a philosophy, an ideology of Chetwood Credo, where it is spoken, nation first, your subordinates next, and your own safety honor, if at all it comes, it is last, always and every time. This is very important and probably the better way of living life. But some people realize it late. Without naming anyone, we will take an hypothetical example. Suppose there is one person, whole life that person has done lot of good things for family, but he could not draw the line and got tempted for corruption. And in the latter phase of life, if the corruption angle gets that person into jail or exposes and defames that person, unfortunately, there is no rewinding. You cannot go back in time to correct your actions. And if that person sitting in jail recalls what could have been better way, but there is no way of repenting, you can just sit and teach others then, or give lessons to others that don't follow my path. Why can't we restrict our ambitions? Why can't we restrict our temptations? Why can't we grow up in our thinking? Can we think beyond our families? Can we choose honest ways? Once you enter into your professions, whatever professions you enter, remember two terms: professional honesty and professional dishonesty. Suiting our actions, we take decisions and it is all perception. We will justify all our actions unless and until proven otherwise by the law, and it is too late at times to come back from that track. Okay, good. Who is next? I think Ravi and Omkar. Omkar ready?
Yes, sir. Ready.
Okay. And Muskan also. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Omkar, go ahead. Muskan can be next. Shweta, keep time.
Can I start?
Sir, yes, you can start.
Okay, thank you. Every game having some rules. Football have a sets of rule. Cricket have a different sets of rule. And the hockey have a different. These rules also for our state is called Constitution. Yes, friends. Today's my lecture topic is Constitution of India. In the broadcast scenes, a constitution is the fundamental body of rules governing the affairs of an organized group. Thus, a parliament, a trade, a union operators under the formality written documents, which documents is having the rules and regulations of the nation is called constitution. The constitution in India came into force on 26 Jan 1915. At the time of its adoption, the constitution contained 395 articles and 8 schedules. Every article in the constitution was debated by the member of Constitutional Assembly, who sat for the 11 sessions and 166 days to form the constitution over the period of 2 years and 11 months. There is lots of efforts bringing the constitution of India. The articles are grouped into 22 different parts, which reflects how they are organized in the text of the Constitution of India. Constitution not define power and responsibility only, but reflects it also define the will of the people also. Mr. R.M. Malwar says the law which governs the state and which represent the will beyond that of the state. So every constitution contains some provisions in that. The fundamentals of constitution are our guarantees. It guarantees the citizen socials, economic and political justice, liberty of thoughts, expression, liberty of belief, liberty of faith and worship, equality of status and equality of opportunity, and to promote among them all the fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual life. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar says, so long as you do not achieve social liberty, whatever freedoms provided by law is of on alive to you.
Only
Lastly,
30 seconds are
I,
left.
lastly, I just say a constitution need to be stable. It not change frequently because it's a constitution of nation. As a supreme court of power of nations, political and legal rights, it has a prominence that ordinary law. So it is defines the rules of nation and get the nation towards the powerful nations. Thank you.
Okay, very important subject from competitive exams point of view, not only in the group discussion or lecturates or interview, it is from theoretical point of view also. Only one correction, Omkar. Constitution should not be changed, will not be correct to say that, because as the society changes, as the technology changes, as the time changes, we may require something new, and that is why there is a provision of amendments. And if you see our own constitution, there are so many amendments. Of course it will be debatable, do we require so many amendments, because there are some political angles also. But our forefathers were very very correct and proficient to make a lot of provisions in that, to amend the things if required, and that is exactly is being done. At the same time, the constitution founders had given the message, especially Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, when he said that constitution framework they did their best, but no amount of ideal framework or the guidelines will work unless and until the executing people are honest, sincere, and has a vision of national development. So that is a key. There may be tools, there may be vehicles, there may be internet for educations, but the user at the end, if the intent is not okay, things will never be in order. Okay, who is next?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Muskan, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Omkar, keep time.
Yes, Muskan. You can start now.
Okay. Uh, a very good morning. I'll be speaking on India-Pakistan relations. Talking about the historical background, on 18th of July 1947, Indian Independence Act was passed by a British Parliament. On 15 August 1947, India and Pakistan were granted independence from the British rule to exist as an independent nation. The border between the India and Pakistan is delineated by the Radific line. India was formed out of the majority of Hindu religion of India and Pakistan from the majority of Muslim area. Pakistan was geopolitically divided into the two major regions, that is West Pakistan and East Pakistan, that is now Bangladesh. The partition also resulted in in the representative divisions of other assets, including the British Indian Army and the Indian Civil Services and other administrative services like the railways, etc. Uh, the the state of Jammu and Kashmir opted to neither to the India and or Pakistan, but exists as an independent entity. On the 20th of October 1947, Azad Kashmir forces supported by Pakistan Army attacked and marched towards the Srinagar. Then after that, there were many after that, also in 1960, Indus Water Treaty was signed between both the countries. The Indus Water Treaty allocated waters of the eastern rivers of Indus, that is Ravi, Bees and Baz and Satluj, and their territories to the India, and the water of western rivers that is Indus, Jhelum, and Chenab, and their tributaries to Pakistan. The Indus Water Treaty is the most generous treaty of the world, where the upper riparian state has allowed the lower riparian state the right to use 81.5% of the Indus water. There were After that there were many wars that took place. That was third
Last
in the
30.
third third world war, that is in 1971 took place, which resulted in the creation of the Bangladesh. Then also the Kargil war, the Lahore declaration, to Uri attack, Gurprasad Gurdaspur attack, Mumbai attack, surgical strikes, Pulwama attack, Balakot airstrikes, and currently the the only
Time up.
wise. Thank you.
Sum up in 30 seconds. Muskan, you can sum up.
No, so it's fine. Like, I have a lot to speak, so it's okay.
Okay.
It's
India Pakistan relations. Let's, yes, you covered a lot of points, but you could have utilized your points which you were hurrying up in the end for larger part of your 3 minutes. Introduction could have been simple, like we got separated 1947 onwards. There are major issues. You covered water sharing. Yes, that is because when you have a topic of relations, why relations are strained, why we are on loggerheads. Reasons are water sharing. The prominent reason is Jammu Kashmir. Later on, it is the liberation of Bangladesh, and the bone of contention really revolves around Jammu Kashmir. They tried for Punjab disturbance also. Of late, things are trying to get improved, but there are many players in Pakistan which are not really letting us to improve relations. The jihadi organizations or the terrorist organizations and the different state players. Apart from government, there are many important players who are calling their shots, whether it is ISI, whether it is Pakistan Army. When between two neighbors, if things are to improve, there has to be two players to talk. The biggest problem with Pakistan is whom to talk. When we talk to government, there is Pakistan Army which creates disturbance. When we talk to army, which is not the correct forum, but then things will never improve. So if our neighbor is not having any government who could succeed 5 years tenure, how can we improve our relations? Now present government is also trying to talk, but how many times we should talk? There was a Lahore bus yatra, then Agra summit was there. Suddenly Indian Prime Minister showed that courage and initiative and landed in Pakistan and went to the enemy nation's Prime Minister's house, courtesy call, tried to improve relations, and then we faced a lot of attacks. Things will never improve. Okay. Uh, Muskan, just initial part, no temptation. You could have brought your lot of good points which were coming up in the end much earlier. Okay. Ravi, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Muskan, keep time.
Card number before that.
Okay, Nikita. Nikita, you take 70.
Yes, sir.
Can I start, Muskan ma'am?
Yes, you may start.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Uh, Good manners is a very necessary thing in our life. Good manners build your character more attractive and make you as a gentleman. So today I want to speak on topic of good manners. Good manners are something that we learn from our childhood. Good manners are taught to us by our parents and family members first and then by our school teachers. Good manners are very important in our life. It makes a person civilized, mature, sensible, and gentle. The nations who have good manners are very developed and progressing. It is the only secret of success of many developed countries today.
There are some basic good manners that we should follow and make a great changes. At home, we should respect our elders and love our youngers. We should cooperate with each other in household work. We should entertain the guests who visit us. At school, we should respect our teachers. We should not make a mischief in the class. We should maintain discipline. We should be helpful to those students who are weak, and we should treat all as equal. Good manners cost nothing but earn much for us. If we speak politely to a person, it costs us nothing, but it can win the love and respect of the person. So lastly, I want to say, so everyone should adapt good manners in life in order to make a distinct identity in the society. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Okay, simple subject yet very very powerful issue. When we have good manners, things will be sorted out. The world will be a very very peaceful entity. We will have easy life and we will have a lot of happiness index going up. But how it is to be achieved? Nobody in our life teaches us to be not so well behaved. Everyone around us teaches us right from our birth to adopt good manners. But unfortunately, a lot of things are learnt which are unwarranted. There are few institutes who work towards it. The first institute is our family. In fact, one individual is also an institute, provided the person learns to listen to his inner voice or her inner voice. Family, if the institute is intact, teaching correct things, things will be in order. Next is schooling. The school institute is having tremendous impact on children right in the early age. Then comes colleges and the professional institutes, then friend circle. These are all areas where we learn a lot of new things. But problem is we start choosing things which are suiting our whims and fancies. We get tempted. Probably keeping simple things, humility, and the simplicity. If we give priority to these things, things will be much easier. First and foremost thing to achieve good manners is respecting parents. Just humble request. Take out 1 minute in daytime. Review your own relations with your parents. Just review at your own level. Need not to discuss also. And things will be set in order. Just review how your relations with your parents or loved ones, where you feel, and things will be in order. Okay, who is next?
Sir,
Okay, Nikita, ready? Ravi, keep time.
Okay, sir. Nikita ma'am, you can start now.
good morning, everyone. The topic which I have selected for my lecturate is electronic devices. We all know about electronic devices. If we see, we are basically surrounded by electronic devices only. Right now, we all are using mobile phones. Then the office work has been done at home by the with the help of laptops. If we see the kitchen scenario, then there are ovens, refrigerators. Then if we see the bathroom scenario, there are geysers. Then there are a lot of things on even streets. There are lights, electric vehicles. So all and all, we are surrounded by the electronic devices, and they are playing a very vital role in our lives. With the help of electronic devices, our life has been eased to extreme extent. Now, but here I just would like to connect the dots and would like to mention that how these electronic devices can actually help in nation building and in the for the growth of nation. For this, I would like to take an example of mobile phones. We know that almost more than 300 components are required to manufacture a single mobile phone. And all those, most of the components we import from the China. Uh, Now, if we start manufacturing these small components in our country, let's take example of let's say that 300 components. So if we group these 300 in 50-50, like six different units in every state, so every state will become the uh, manufacturer of these components, so that we'll manufacture a mobile phone or smartphone. And not only the state, but all in all the country will become the major manufacturer of mobile phone, and also the exporter at the global level of the mobile phone. Three things will happen because of this. First, we'll be generating employment. Second, we'll be supporting the Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. And third, definitely it will contribute in the nation's development, and it will contribute to the nation's GDP. So there are, so basically, and besides this, recently we have one thing was in news, that the people, after pandemic, the people, the purchasing power parity of the people uh, got increased, and number of people were buying vehicles, but
Last
they
30
were not
seconds.
getting delivery on time, and the company was giving a reason that they were lacking in semiconductors, because of which the manufacturing of vehicle has been stopped. So here again, one thing, that those semiconductors, the small semiconductors which play a very important role in the huge vehicle, that also we were importing. So rather than, here we can again learn a lesson, and we can start manufacturing those semiconductors in India, with the collaboration of with collaborating the country with South Korea. So there are a number of things which we can do and become a self-reliant. Lastly, I just want to say that um, as a nation, if we, means everything which is around us, that
Time
contributes
is over.
nation development. So I think as a, it is also our responsibility towards our nation, and whatever the indigenous products we are making, we should use that. Thank you.
Okay, good, Nikita. Very open ended topic when it is just written on your card, electronic devices. You can speak from many angles, right from how the evolution happened in the electronic field, how electrical, electronic, or computer are merged now, amalgamation has happened. Every electrical equipment is now having electronic angle to it, and the advanced technology is computers, supercomputers, and nanotechnology, artificial intelligence. These are the things lined up. One point which could have been added, Nikita and everyone, if such topics are there, future, from the future perspective, e-waste, e-waste is will be a serious concern. You can add what is e-waste is electronic waste actually. So when electronic devices is there, e-waste is a very relevant angle before you conclude on such topics. Only concern is these electronic devices are there for ease of our life. It facilitate, smoothens up our working, but we should not be falling prey to it. We should not be getting too much of addicted to it, like mobile, advanced version of electronic now, and it is literally occupying our entire day, but we should have wisdom how to utilize it. So if you list out electronic things around us, in fact everything is electronic today, whether it is digital watch or your all appliances in the home, or the comfort equipments, everything is becoming electronic. And now electronic vehicles, they will bring a lot of other dimensions in our life. So things are changing very rapidly, but we human beings should focus on our basic way of life, because that balance has to be achieved. Otherwise, we are losing on peace of mind. That is very important. When, like for example, today I have time, I'll take one more minute. Earlier, in my childhood, when suppose I had to move from one place to other place, there was so much of time. You come out of your home, you had to catch bus or auto from a nearby point. Then you go to bus stand or railway station. You were slow, and at times, if it is a rural area, you walk down 1 2 kilometer 3 kilometer, and you were having a lot of time to interact with humans. You had time to really talk to yourself, which is very very essential activity, and we are missing on that. Talking to oneself at least couple of minutes in a day, every day is must, and that gives a lot of good perspective to life, which generally is not happening today in our life. So this speed, which was not there, or it was slow life, but it was beautiful life. Today speed is increasing. The things are so fast around us, and we are also fast. Like I remember my first experience in Mumbai was, I was standing on Church Gate or VT station. So I was standing in the evening rush hours, and I did not come to know, because that was my first experience, how I moved. I need not to walk actually. People were pushing me. So I moved, and I literally felt, because that was my first experience, how fast life is. And that is why there are so many things we learn. Some are good, we should promote them. Some are unwarranted. We need pause. We need stopping. We need reviewing. And if you are not getting time, then things will always not be moving in a good direction. Our direction is to be reviewed. We don't know which direction we are moving. So that direction, if it is correct, then very good. And if it needs little bit correction, we should have time to review that. Now in your student days, you must review your progress. You must review your task, your targets. Yes, this is a very very challenging phase. My feelings are with you, because you are under stress. Your targets, you are confused, at times worried whether I will be able to achieve my aim or not, whether I will be able to achieve, materialize my dreams, aspirations of yourself and parents. This is a very very tough phase, but behave like a fighter. Come out of this situation as a victorious. Have belief in you, have belief in your ecosystem, and for that only requirement is help yourself. Trust in yourself, trust in your abilities, work hard. There is no substitute. There is no substitute. If someone is feeling that I will be automatically getting something, and simple work will do it, no. Your sweating is required, your midnight oil burning is required. If you don't do it, don't expect a bright future or the dream world which you are aiming for. So with this we will sign off. I don't think anybody is remaining. Anyone? No. Okay, we will end here. Have a good day. Bye. Jai Hind. Keep doing well.
Jai
Jai
Hind,
Hind, sir.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Bye, sir.